Both these teams flying high coming into this game. Tim Lambright going up and getting the football.
No matter what side of the field they're on, they can break a huge play.
Anthony Francis down the sideline. He's going to go in for a score. Big pickup there for Angelo Blake.
He just picks up those big chunks of yardage each time he carries the ball.
Boston just seems to be a little sharp out in this game. There's just no substitute for straight-out speed.
We've seen some amazing games, but that was
one of the best we've seen in a long time. Hello, Boston, and welcome to Boston English High School in Jamaica Plain as we're live for the North Division 8 sectional semifinals, as tonight the West Roxbury Raiders, champions of the Boston North, take on the Boston English Eagles, champions of the Boston South. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Flaherty, joined by my partner, Alan Platt. And Alan, we sort of have the unofficial city championship tonight, and it also falls into the state football playoffs. We got Westy taking on Eastie. This is going to be a lot of fun here tonight.
I'll tell you, it's interesting into this round of the playoffs. It's unusual to see two Boston teams undefeated in league play.
Sure.
So let's give them both a lot of credit just for the regular seasons that they've had, and now that they're into some playoff action, they're bumping heads, and they have a little bit of history. I mean, before the season started, they actually scrimmaged. So they have a little bit of familiarity, even though during the course of the season some things do change. Both had very impressive wins last week, so looking forward to this one.
That's right. You mentioned the West Roxbury Raiders. They also played a city team last week in Charlestown, and one of their standout players from that game was number 5, Talif Stewart. Very good sort of change of pace running back for the Raiders.
Well, not only that, he's just as important on defense also. He plays both sides. Like you said, a lot of speed, good quickness. They really depend on him, especially in third down situations. And defensively, good cover guy, has a couple of interceptions this season. So you'll see him, number 5 in the white, the green numerals. He'll be a key guy, like I said, on both sides of the football.
No question. Had 2 picks last week, like you mentioned, and a rushing touchdown for the Raiders. Meanwhile, on the other side, for the English New Mission Eagles, a player that came over from New Mission, that was on New Mission last year, came over this year to Boston English and continued a very good season. That's been Takari Hobbs. He had a great game last week. He's our spotlight player tonight. Takari, just a breakout running back.
Oh, definitely. We saw him, actually seen him twice this season. Good speed, excellent speed, but also good toughness and good strength. I mean, he's able to run away from people, as you can see there, but also he can go between tackles. And I think that it's going to be a real challenge for West Roxbury, but West Roxbury does have a good defensive front. We'll see how they can key on Hobbs and if they can slow him down. Really interesting. Anytime teams come in, like English right now is undefeated, first time in quite some time, so they're home. If anything is a slight advantage, maybe this familiar field.
No question. We'll see if English can take advantage of the home field here, as even though both teams won their leagues, Boston English undefeated this season. So certainly got the home field advantage. There you see the numbers from Takari Hobbs. 10 rushing touchdowns, 11 total this season, and of course the great game last week.
He's a horse. He's really a horse. And what you like about him, like I said, he can go between tackles, doesn't mind the rough stuff in there, or he can sprint outside and just use his speed.
Absolutely. Now for more of this game, we're going to go to our sideline reporter, Noah Riley, who's got an update for us. Noah, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. Today we're looking at a matchup between Boston English High School and West Roxbury that's going to be a great one. You're looking at two teams who know each other extremely well. For the past 3 summers, they have not only played against each other, but also held joint practices. Though they haven't played against each other this year, play calling and game strategy figures to be pretty predictable on a night that's not only wet, but will more than likely be rainy throughout the game. Both teams are going to look to pound the ball. On the West Roxbury side, beyond Talif Stewart, we have a senior running back in Ismail Prasume, who, though he was injured in the later half of the season, got carries last weekend against Charlestown. In addition to that, we also have Dason Miranda, who had 2 touchdowns and 69 yards over the past few weeks, and he'll look to get the ball as well. On the Boston English side, beyond Takari Hobbs, we have Cameron Brown, who's this big, bruising running back, 6'1", around 200 pounds, who will look to put it to this English defense. It'll definitely be a great one. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Noah. Good point about how these two teams had joint practices earlier in training camp this year and over the past 2 seasons. Coach Conway, who it was Hyde Park semi-pro teammates with Coach Wright across the way there. Good friends. Their numbers have been hurting over the last couple of years, so they had joint practices before the season started. And Coach Conway said, "I didn't think we'd be seeing West Roxbury because they used to play in Division 7. We're in Division 8."
That's right. Everything changed. Yeah,
Everything changed this year, and now they are squaring off against each other in the North 8 Sectional semifinals. Westy wins the toss. They are receiving. Squib kick from English. Ball hits the turf, but Carlos Roches is able to recover at the 39-yard line.
So a little bit of a surprise for English starting out because of this wet field, hoping for possibly a turnover on the opening kickoff. But Westy was able to recover. They'll have first from scrimmage.
They're the starters for the Raiders as McBean, the sophomore quarterback, starting under center. Presume back at full strength, the senior tailback, Talif Stewart. Pena, the very good receiver, and Roches, the big hulking tight end for West Roxbury.
Nice field. I mean, it did rain. It looks like it's going to be off and on. That actually helps the players because since it's artificial turf, the moisture in the rain takes away from all those burns you can get when the field's dry. So players actually prefer a wet artificial turf.
Both teams play on this turf. Obviously, English here, and then West Roxbury over at their home stadium right next to their school. As the Raiders on first down from their own 39-yard line. Roches, the man in motion, and here it is Stewart. And he follows his blockers nicely up to the 45 before he's drilled by Boston English's Ramonte Williams. So a 6-yard pickup on first down for Talif Stewart.
Yeah, Williams, good size for a defensive back. He's about 6'2", a little over 180 pounds. Watch right of your screen. He's going to come in, lower the shoulder after about a 4 or 5 yard gain right there, number 1 in blue. I think we'll see a lot of that, though. Like Noah mentioned, with the rain, both teams are going to want to pound as opposed to trying to go to the air because you never know what's going to happen. A little bit of wind and the rain will be off and on.
Second down and 4 now for West Roxbury. This time they give over the left side to Stewart. He bursts out of the hole for a first down at midfield.
I said, that gain was totally because of the way Stewart got off of his mark so quickly. Good job with the quick handoff. Left to your screen. He's already in motion. He's already got a head of steam. Little guy, but good strong legs. Like we talked about his speed, his quickness in the open. Not afraid to go in between tackles. They have English spread out defensively, worrying about him coming around the end, so they'll take advantage going up the middle.
Now on first down for West Roxbury, Presume the deep back. He gets it here on first down, off tackle. And Presume plows forward to the 46-yard line.
I tell you, we talk about teams being familiar through summer practices, but there's a playoffs moving on the line. You see good clean plays. So neither one of those plays lowered their helmets. I like to see that in high school players. Because in the past, you would see a helmet get lowered along with the shoulders. The possible injuries result from that.
4-yard pickup there on first down. Second down and 6. Now for the Raiders, who continue to ground and pound.
Oh, they're going to. Yeah, that's the strategy.
This time it's the fullback Miranda who gets wrapped up in the backfield. Eric Mack getting in there for Boston English.
I'll tell you, it's really ironic, Pat. The first time they go straight ahead, they get stuffed for nothing. I was just going to say that because they were going left and right, you see Mack, excellent job coming across, but they were sort of keeping the English defense a little off balance, guessing because they went to the left and to the right, back to the left. That time, of all things, go straight up the middle and get nothing.
You see head coach Ryan Conway in his 3rd season now at English New Mission. Very much enjoying this new co-op formed by English and New Mission.
Anytime he can turn around, see so many players in uniform.
He hands a roster to us, and it's twice the size it used to be.
That's a luxury.
3rd down and 8 now for the Raiders. They got to get to the 44 first. Stewart,
side of the field,
very close to a first down. He's got it and more. Talif Stewart inside the 40, marked down at the 39-yard line. So another big pickup by the quick running back.
Excellent, Pat. I mean, you decided to spotlight him before the game with good reason. I mean, look, he made a lot of this on his own. Used the speed to get to the corner. Once he turns the corner, he just lowers his shoulder. Small shoulders, but still lowers them, strong enough to run through 2 tackles, still tack on an extra 5-6 yards. They have this English defense on their heels right now.
Yeah, both defenses having very good seasons. Coming into the playoffs, both teams gave up 20 for West Roxbury, and then English gave up 22 last week against Matignon. On first down, we had some early movement. Fumbled the football. Presume fumbled, and English has recovered.
I tell you, that's a bad break for West Roxbury all the way around, because it looked like you saw the movement. Let's assume that defender got back behind the line of scrimmage before the snap. Oh yeah, presumably never got in his hand at all. Wow.
I wonder if that's due to the wet turf.
Tough break. But they were rolling. But see, those things happen. Owens defensively got the recovery, but those are the kind of things that happen to help English with this undefeated season so far.
And you see the starters for Boston English. Michael Castro, the starter tonight. Takari Hobbs, Julian Soto are in the backfield. Williams and Exelholm are the receivers. Now on first down. And West Roxbury recovers the fumble by Boston English.
First play of the game and a mishandle from scrimmage, and here we have West Roxbury actually close to where they were anyway. Yeah, ball. Yeah, you see, it's too bad Castro couldn't even find it. Once it popped up, he never found it. Yeah, remember, there's still some jitters at the beginning of a game like this. Even though English ran up, 42 points last week in their win against Minuteman, still, they know they're playing against a very good team, a slightly bigger team up front, so still some jitters on both sides.
So the Raiders basically have the ball where they had it before they fumbled, so now at the English 35-yard line. The pitch is to Stewart again, to Leaf with another nice pickup as Stewart is dragging tacklers inside the 20-yard line down to about the 18.
Hey, that's
make that the 17.
West Roxbury's found something on the right side of that English defense because they keep exploiting it. You'll see like good cut inside, and again, finishes off all his runs very strong, add extra yardage. Wow, so far he is averaging 12 yards per carry on this drive. Yeah. Well, the abbreviated drive anyway.
48 yards total here in the first quarter for Talif Stewart. Raiders now inside the red zone looking for a score. On first down, this time it's Dason Miranda, the fullback, who fights his way forward up to the 13-yard line.
You gotta like the way you're seeing this West Roxbury team mix these plays up. They're going right, they go left, they go up the middle. This time a little bit of a slant, allowing some open room there. Short game, but anytime you get plus yards this deep in the opponent's territory, very valuable.
Miranda, the leading rusher last week against Charlestown. He had 69 rushes on the ground, or 69 rushing yards rather, on the ground for West Roxbury. Filled in nicely as Presume was recovering from his ankle injury. Now the handoff to Israel Presume over the left side. Slips a tackle. Presume is in for a West Roxbury touchdown.
I tell you, somehow Lamont Williams just whiffed on the tackle. He had an opportunity had the angle on Presume. He was just couldn't make any contact. Right at your screen. Watch this. He comes across, and I think he took a bad angle. That's how. Yeah, I think Presume might have been a little quicker than he thought.
3 plays and 36 yards after the fumble recovery for West Roxbury. And now the Raiders will have to try to tack on the 2-point conversion here earlier in the first quarter. Hand off to Roaches, and he tries to get in but does not. So West Roxbury denied the 2-point conversion, but with 5:47 left to go here in the first quarter, the West Roxbury Raiders fumble the football, get it back on a fumble recovery in the first play for English, and go down and score a touchdown. And certainly when you're the road team and you can put up a score right away, that is huge momentum for your team.
Definitely. You get, because there was, like I said, some anxiety coming into the game. English coming into the game undefeated. You have West Roxbury. I think they're 6-2, but they're undefeated in winning Boston North. So a lot of emotion on the line. So that little bit of an interrupted drive, very impressive, all on the ground as we expected.
One thing Coach Conway mentioned to me yesterday was that a couple of his players were late last week, and so they didn't start some of their starting defensive players against Matignon, and I think the same thing has happened this week.
Okay.
A couple of their normal defensive starters had to be disciplined for showing up late to practice, so we'll see how that continues to unfold here in the first half.
You got a free ball.
That's picked up by Tristan Champagne inside the 20-yard line, but Champagne with a nice cut. Champagne now past the 20-yard line.
I'll tell you, he did a good job to get his team out of that deep hole. With the ball bouncing like that, Champagne's able to finally grab it. He's near the end zone. Good job to make something out of nothing.
And mark him down at the 23. Look at the 22, so just about a 10-yard return there for Champagne. See Michael Castro, the senior quarterback for Boston English. He was the starter last year for the English Eagles. First down, they hand off to Takari Hobbs with a nice cut. Hobbs over the left side. And Takari's forced out of bounds right around the 39-yard line.
Yeah,
we get a
late
flag at the end
wow.
of the play. That could be a face mask.
It's a very, very late flag.
I'm sorry, that was Hobbs on the punt return, or kick return rather, on that last play, and then Hobbs on that run for Boston English.
It's our first penalty. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris.
Mark
And
Hobbs
foul.
down at the 38-yard
Face
line.
It was a face mask.
Here.
Yeah. It was late, but the back judge saw it, threw the flag. That's going to cost West Roxbury some more.
15-yard run
Oh,
there
right
for
there. Oh,
Hobbs.
yeah. That was, actually, he was the only one that could have seen it because the line judge was behind the play.
Luis Pena called for the face mask, and that puts English in West Roxbury territory. 15-yard run, 15-yard penalty. So Boston English now at the West Roxbury 47-yard line.
30-yard play. Wow.
Handoff over the right side. It's Julian Soto, who's got nowhere to go, picked up a yard there on first down. Soto still down for the English Eagles.
He got sort of sandwiched on that tackle. They'll have him come out. We talked about Castro, that you mentioned him last year, emerging as the starting quarterback. Did probably more running last season than he's doing this season. He's sort of managing the game, passes when they have to. He can still run some, but not as much of a runner this year. With the combination of the two teams, there are a lot more weapons for this English-New Mission combination.
Second down and 9 now for the English New Mission Eagles. They hand off to Hobbs again. This time Takari wrapped up. Picked up 1 yard there on second down, so it'll be 3rd and 8 now for Boston English.
Yeah, you're really seeing that this big front for West Roxbury. They come across the line of scrimmage in really good shape, and Hobbs, who's used to having a little bit of running room before he tries to make his cut or make his break, not happening so far. His run on that first play for 15 yards to get outside quickly on his own, and then just use his speed to the sideline.
Third and 8 now for Boston English. They hand off to their fullback, Cameron Brown, and he is gang tackled at the 42. So the English New Mission Eagles well short of the first down at the 42-yard line. It's going to be 4th and about 5 for Boston English.
Really short gain there. We're seeing this West Roxbury front right now is winning the battle when English tries to run between tackles.
Fourth and 5, they hand off to Hobbs. Takari with a nice cut. Can't spin out of the tackle as Roches is there for the stop. Nowhere to go for Takari Hobbs as they mark him down at the 40. It's going to be 3 yards short of the first down.
That was an impressive tackle by Hobbs, Roches, as you mentioned, because Hobbs is used to running out of a one-on-one situation. So you see Roaches with those really strong hands, strong arms, pulling them back.
English Eagles cannot answer West Roxbury. And we'll have to try to put up a defensive stand here as West Roxbury will take over on downs here at their own 40-yard line.
Well, English got to find an answer for Stewart. I mean, to leave that first drive was pretty much all him until presumably got the touchdown. That would mix up on the offensive huddle for West Roxbury. They use a timeout to get things straight.
The Raiders call a timeout with 3:05 left to go here in the first quarter. West Roxbury on top, 6-0 over the English New Mission Eagles here in the North Division 8 sectional semifinals. Winner goes on to the sectional finals.
Yeah, tonight over in Everett, you got Pope John playing Lynn Vocational. That's the other semifinal in this division.
On first down, West Roxbury hands off to Presume over the left side, and he's dropped in the backfield. It looked like it might have been Alex Mack there for the English Eagles.
Good job by Mack. He was actually coming on a blitz. He was able to grab the jersey and hold on until help came. So threw him actually for a half-yard loss. Like the rain's back, so umbrellas coming out. Players have to be more careful with the ball now. It'll be slippery in every play. And I'd say a quarterback keeper, so not by design, but a good gain actually. He was able to pick up about 5 yards. Didn't secure the handoff. So give McBean credit. Did the safe thing, kept it, tucked it under, just went straight ahead. So it makes it a manageable third down. It'll be like a 3rd and 5 now.
So 3rd and 5 now for the Raiders.
Let's go, Eagles!
And early movement, I'm not sure who moved first, as we had movement on both sides.
Yeah,
could have been the left tackle.
Yeah, the left tackle came off. Looked like they were going to try that left sweep with Stewart again. He just wanted, I think the tackle got a little over anxious trying to get into his block. That's going to cost him 5 yards. They'll make it now a 3rd and 10.
Still 3rd down.
Haven't seen, like we said, haven't had any pass attempts yet. This might be our first one. Remember, Roaches is the big tight end. He always starts from the backfield. Now he's going to go to the tight end position on the line. Single back behind McBean.
Now on 3rd and 10 for the Raiders, McBean. He's got to take it himself. Might have lost the handoff. Big hit that time from Boston English.
Who was that? Taewon Brown, linebacker spot, came up and met McBean. Now McBean rolls out as if it's a pass run option, but for whatever reason, Brown just decided he's going to run, I'm going to get him. And 4th and 11 now.
Louis Pena back to kick for West Roxbury. And sort of a sidewinding end-over-end punt that lands inside the Eagles bench there, right around the 42-yard line. So that's where Boston English will get their 3rd chance of the evening. on offense. 20-yard punt there for Binion.
That can be a spark, Pat. The fact that English was sort of pushed around that first drive where West Roxbury scored the touchdown. That time, linebackers played much closer to the line of scrimmage, took some chances on a couple of blitzes, forced a punt, offense back on the field. That's the end of the first quarter.
So that is going to do it here for the first quarter at Boston English High as the West Roxbury Raiders on top of the English New Mission Eagles 6-0 in the North Sectional semifinals. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have the second quarter here on Game of the Week right after these words. Don't go away.
Green red hat. Oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt. Oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants. Oops.
Back here at English High, 6-0 West Roxbury in their visiting white jerseys. As English High will start their second drive of the game as we start the second quarter. Again, we're talking about playoff action here. North Division 8 sectional semifinal game. And English try to get something going on offense to answer that 6-0 deficit so far.
Hand it off to Hobbs as he tries to cut back up the middle to Kari up to the 45. So a 3-yard pickup on first down for Takari Hobbs.
Really impressive West Roxbury. Even though they're big up front, they move well. They move sort of in unison. Once they identify the football, the linebackers stay behind the defensive linemen to really not give Hobbs any running room.
Now on second down, English makes their way up to midfield.
That looks like a Brown run.
Yeah, when a pile moves, it's
right,
probably
exactly.
Cameron Brown. And it is.
Without even seeing him, I mean, it was a huge pile, but good gain for him. Makes it a 3rd and about 2. Oh, it's too bad. See, English was trying to pick up the pace with a quick to the line, no huddle, and a quick snap, but they had a lineman came out of the stance too soon. You got to wonder, okay, English is 7-0. You got to wonder how often they've been behind, actually, especially in the first half of the game.
Yeah,
this might be just an unusual feeling for them.
Yeah, English was down by 1 touchdown early against Matignon last week, but then came right back and scored.
What, 42 points?
Takari Hobbs ripped off multiple long touchdown runs.
Illegal procedure, offense. Still 3rd down.
That's a tough one. You go from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7. But like you mentioned, Hobbs can literally score from anywhere in the field. So it's just a matter of trying to figure out this West Roxbury defense. It's been stout all year. We've talked about them all season. Defense has held opponents under 15 points on average.
Soto, the man in motion for Boston English. They pitch it over the right side to Hobbs again. Takari cuts back up the middle. Not a lot of space again, and he makes his way up to the 48-yard line. So Boston English are going to be faced with a 4th and 4.
You just got to like the way this West Roxbury defense swarms once they identify the football. I mean, they're already keying on Hobbs and know that number 2 is the main running back, but they have to make sure he has it before they go swarm him. And because that penalty really hurt English, prevented them from getting that 3rd down and 7. So the first punt for English coming up. Looks like Stewart, one of the deep backs to receive the kick. Again, off the side of his foot, but Stewart's going to bobble it. Picks it up and was lucky to hold on. That one is the coverage for English. Excellent. Jermaine Elock on the coverage as you see Stewart trying to fight the rain. The wet ball. Got a lucky bounce to maintain possession and then got run over by Elock. So first down, 1st and 10 for West Roxbury. Leading 6-0. 8:40 to go before halftime here in the sectional Division 8 semifinal game. About the 27-yard line. We've seen McBean run a couple of times. One was just sort of by necessity after a bad snap, but he's also a threat in that backfield.
Over the right side there for West Roxbury, picking up a short gain on first down.
Yeah, that's one of the few times, Pat, we've seen English actually string the running back out for West Roxbury, not give him any cutting lanes. Short gain, maybe 2, well, almost 3 yards. So second down and, yeah, we'll call it a long 7. Yeah. Good game so far defensively. Both teams sort of guessing correctly as they know there are key running backs, Presumi and Stewart for West Roxbury. Now West is going to take another timeout on offense. McBean saw something out there that as soon as he came to the line decided to take a timeout. Get some information from the coaches and try to just reset his offense. Maybe he wanted to tell the coach, hey, listen, it's stopped raining, so let's just throw a pass.
Right. Let's change it up a bit.
It might be one of our only chances.
McBean doesn't throw a lot for the Raiders,
exactly
but he
right.
will
That's
throw
what I'm saying.
once in a while.
That's the key. All you get, a play fake to Stewart or Presumi will really keep English near the line of scrimmage.
And here he goes, McBean going down the right side. He's got Pena. What a throw to Louis Pena. Pena still on his feet inside the 20. Brought down at the 8-yard line for West Roxbury. McBean put it right on Louis Pena for a 64-yard bomb.
I tell you, Pat, you would never know there's a wet ball out there. That, like you said, that was a perfect pass. And Pena, you know, all receivers want speedy receivers to say, just put some air under it, let me run under it. As soon as the ball went in the air, Pena was able to separate with his speed, run under the football, and then I love how he continued the yards after the catch. He was actually contacted around the 25-yard line, was able to go all the way down to about the 6. So West Roxbury threatening to get a 2-score lead here.
Over the left side is Presumi to the end zone. He makes his way into the past the pylon. We're going to flag on the play. That one's coming back.
Yeah. But the play itself, similar to the touchdown on the other end, yeah, it's going to.
We have a hold.
You're right, Pat. West Roxbury is holding.
8-9.
But again, the English has to be concerned that pretty much the same play that presumably scored the only touchdown of the game. That time, well, the hold, you never know how much the hold affected it, but he was able to get to the end zone untouched. Going back to that pass play, that was beautiful. I mean, I'd say that's hard enough to do on a dry field. And here we have a wet field, wet football, wet hands, but Pena, that was an impressive play.
Yeah, Louis
Pena. To really create some separation while the ball is in the air.
Pena had a receiving touchdown last week, also had a game-winning touchdown catch against Tech Boston at the end of the regular season. 4 receiving touchdowns all year long for Luis Pena. Presume gets wrapped up at the 15.
We were talking about on that pass, the play by both McBean and Pena, but in reality, the defensive coverage wasn't that bad. I think the defender made one mistake. He just didn't look back when Pena looked back, so he didn't realize the ball was actually coming when Pena creates a couple of yards of separation. But they had decent coverage.
Second and goal now for Westy. They hand off to Stewart, to Leaf, running hard up to the 11-yard line.
Good instincts for the running, because that play looked like it was designed to go outside, because the tight ends looked like he was blocking for a sweep, but Stewart saw some space inside and was able to make a decent gain out of it. Yeah, I like West Roxbury's front line, both offense and defense. They've done a really good job here this first half. We talked about the Charlestown game being back and forth, ended up being, what, 26-20. Right. This one, West Roxbury wants to really get this 2-touchdown lead. Really put some pressure on the undefeated English team.
Third and goal, early movement. That's going to be on English. You're
starting to see the anxiety of a defense that wants to make a play.
Oh, I'm going to call it on West Roxbury.
Well, so, yeah, I guess English was run off, yeah. See, English, this is when English started blitzing on the one drive that they stopped West Roxbury and forced a punt. They blitzed on 2nd and 3rd down.
Instead of 3rd and goal from the 10, it's now 3rd and goal from the 15-yard line now for the West Roxbury Raiders.
So it's important that these English coaches know how important a stop here would be.
McBean again rolling to his right, escapes a rusher. Now it's McBean getting clocked, but staying on his feet at the 13-yard line.
Dejon Brown, I tell you, he loves running to the sideline and closing out these sideline tackles. So now 4th down is going to be short gain, so 4th and about, what, 13. But the playbook's open. They ran his stop for a few minutes. Ever since that long bomb pass, McBean to Pena, there's been no sprinkling. Okay, let's see if it's going to be Stewart. Okay, Stewart's the lone back. They have the bunch formation with the receivers on the right side of McBean. Another timeout? Yeah. I think that time the coaches from West Roxbury saw that English had a decent defense for that bunch formation, 3 wide receivers to the right.
Down on the field is our sideline reporter, Noah Riley, who's got an update. Noah, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. As anticipated, the weather has played a huge factor in this matchup so far. We've already seen 3 fumbles, 2 of which came on each team's opening drive. Since then, there's only been 1 pass play and almost 2 full quarters.
Yeah, I think the rain's gotten to Noah's microphone. We'll get back to him when we have a chance. A big play coming up, 4th down, 4th and goal, West Roxbury, and the sideline called that timeout, so they may come up with a play that we haven't seen yet in this game from the West Roxbury offense.
3:55 left to go here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, English wants the ball back. I mean, they're not used to being shut out in the first half, so
especially at home.
That's what I'm saying. It's like in a playoff game.
Coach Conway talked about having a couple of guys on the team that were late to practice, and you have that lack of focus during the week. And a lot of times it shows up at game time.
And the bad thing is, a lot of times players don't even recognize that. They don't see the connection.
Now on 4th down, West Roxbury.
McBean again to throw.
Mack chasing McBean.
Oh, good job. Good job.
And good pursuit by Boston English as they tackle the Westie quarterback at the 16-yard line. Turnover on downs. Boston English will have it with 3:46 left to go before halftime.
Well, I'm going to tell you, one of the things that West Roxbury coaches are going to talk about at halftime, probably the first thing, are those 2 penalties when West Roxbury had a 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. They thought they had a touchdown, holding penalty. They had a makeable play, procedure penalty. Forced to go for it on 4th down, and English gets a stop. Now let's see if English wants to put the ball in the end. Castro has a strong arm, and like I said, it hasn't been raining for the past, 10 minutes or so.
Now on 1st down, it's Hobbs getting the carry. I'm sorry, it's not Takari Hobbs.
That's Soto?
I think it was Julian Soto.
I think it was Soto, yeah. It's good to see him back because he got shaken up the first time carry he had in the first quarter. You can see a few of the kids who are playing both ways for West Roxbury, a little frustration with not scoring on that last 1st and goal situation they had. They want to get the ball back before halftime for the offense. We got some one-on-one coverage right in front of us here with Ramonte Williams.
Castro looking to go, and he
lost
fumbles the ball. It's recovered by Miranda. He takes it in for a West Roxbury touchdown.
Castro was trying to throw the football. It looked like he bumped into one of his players. I'm not sure if it's a fumble or an interception, but either way, it doesn't matter. It's a touchdown for West Roxbury. I mean,
intercepted by Miranda.
I talked about Williams on the right side. The wide receiver for English had one-on-one coverage. That's where Castro was trying to go, but the ball never got to throw it. So after the bounce, it'll be an interception. And a quick six points for West Roxbury. There's that 2-score lead. Okay, another timeout for West Roxbury as they want to try to get this 2-point conversion right. That's extremely deflating for English. They make a good defensive stand to get the football back to keep the score 6-0, but then on their first pass attempt of the night, first time they even tried to throw the football, they have a mishap. Bounce ball up in the air and interception for a touchdown. So Westie now trying to go up 14-0 if they can get this 2-point conversion. Meanwhile, the English team just wants to stem the tide because that's a killer. I mean, you're in your own deep in your own end zone, near your own end zone.
West Roxbury on top, 14-0.
They're trying to get to 14. 12 now, but they're trying to get to 14, yeah.
Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can certainly go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. A lot of good stuff up on our Facebook page. You can also follow us on Twitter @BostonCityTV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW.
Okay, let's see what Westie has. They have an I formation. Stewart, the deep back in the eye. Here's the pitch.
They give it to Stewart. Tries to bounce it to the outside. Slips one tackle. Stewart now reverses field. To Leaf. Plowing towards the end zone. He gets in for the 2-pointer. What a run
that was amazing
by the junior tailback.
Well, we talked about him being slippery, quick, and good instincts, but that was all those things combined. That might be the most exciting 3-yard run you're going to see in a very long time. Reversed his field to get into the end zone. So with 2:50 to go before halftime, we have an elated West Roxbury side. Meanwhile, this English side right in front of us is really dejected. I mean, they're still in shock with that interception touchdown for a pick six. Now, looked like they had Stewart wrapped up as he tried that right sweep. He gets away, reverses his field, gets the 2 points. So
Stewart with an amazing run there on the 2-pointer.
Well, I'll tell you, it's one of those things. West Roxbury, they've had this kind of season where because of their line play, they've controlled most of their games. They do have 2 losses, but the games, especially the city games, where they're undefeated, they've controlled those with that line play.
West Roxbury not at full strength over the last couple of weeks with their best defensive end, Rendell Johnson, who broke his leg against Brighton a couple of weeks ago. Imagine if they had him right now. I mean, they would be rocking and rolling.
But you gotta like the way they've adjusted to that loss.
That one fielded by Boston English right around the 38-yard line, as that was number 14, Omari Stevens, bringing back that kick.
Good job by Stevens. He just took his time, no panic, didn't want to take the chance of fumbling it, so grabbed it, got out of bounds.
So 2:48 left to go here in the second quarter. West Roxbury on top, 14-0 over the New Mission English Eagles.
For some of the English fans, a lot of them have come to fill the stands in, and they're still filing in. They must be shocked to see 14-0. They're not used to seeing English at home close to being shut out before halftime. You know, Castro wants to make up for that mishap. I mean, it's just one of those accidental things. The ball bounce out.
Cameron Brown gets the handoff on first down. Nowhere to go for him.
I'll tell you, this is really impressive, this defensive. I mean, they're huge. They got some size, but it's one thing to have size. It's something else to have skilled size, and that's what this West Roxbury team has. They are giving no running angles in between tackles. Then they chase outside too. They stretch plays out. It's an impressive team. I mentioned that line. Roddy with 6 tackles so far here in the first half. And they can do it because, okay, Stewart is now taking Williams one-on-one in pass coverage.
Second down and 10. Castro looking to go to the air, and he's being chased by West Roxbury. Big time block that was actually visited
Williams.
Back on by Bertucci as he lined up Williams.
Well, again, like you said, Pat, chased Castro out of the pocket. Castro made the right decision to tuck it in. It did a lot of running for like a 5-yard gain. Big third down here because we've got 1:49 to go. Clock is stopped. If we see the end of this Castro just trying to get whatever he can, asking for a block, gets out of bounds.
And they drop the football again. Boston English just can't hang on to it as West Roxbury recovers at the English 40-yard line.
The unfortunate part, Pat, it's almost as if West Roxbury's not playing in the rain. Well, that's right off of Hobbs. I guess he just didn't have his arms open up enough to get it. And again, you're over anxious. You want the ball. I'm sure Hobbs was seeing some daylight on the sideline. Exactly. You got to tuck the ball in first.
I was going to say earlier, should Boston English just kind of pound the clock out, go into halftime and regroup?
Well, they were trying. I think, quite frankly, I think they were there. You always want to give a guy like Hobbs, who's so explosive, give him a chance on a wide sweep type of play. That's exactly what that was on third down. Now English was forced defensively again to stop West Roxbury before halftime.
McBean now rolling to his right, going to try to take it himself. Lazarus tripped up at the line of scrimmage right around the 40. And it's Dejon Brown coming up with a stop for the Eagles.
I'll tell you, Divison is just running from sideline to sideline. Left to your screen. Watch 35. You'll see him pop into your screen. Yeah, right there. And be able to get the tackle.
Dejon Brown.
I'd say West Roxbury's got to be happy with it. I mean, this is not only are they up 14-0, but the defense has been just as impressive as their offense.
We mentioned Takari Hobbs' big playability for the English Eagles. He hasn't been able to break anything
Not
in
yet.
this first half.
Got that 115-yard run.
And the handoff to Brazume here on second down. Israel holding
Fumble the football.
He dropped the football.
Oh,
it's
good.
recovered
I tell you,
by West Roxbury. That's number 7,
Lewis,
Alex Luna.
Wow. Alert plays.
Huge play for him.
Now watch it. Now Luna's number 7. He misses the block, but luckily he was standing up to see the ball come out.
And Brazume
There he is right there. Brazume is looking for the football, and what happened? You know?
Israel had a couple of times there where he was holding the ball like a loaf of bread, and then he did tuck it in, and that's when he got stripped.
Exactly, yeah. Well, you remember, all their jerseys are soaking wet.
Right.
The hands are soaking wet. Forearms are soaking wet.
If you got wristbands on,
there you
those
go.
are wet.
Yeah, the running backs just got to be, and the coaches are telling them it every time out. Hold on to the football. Bring it in on contact.
Coach Conway trying to fire up the defense. This is when Boston English really needs to get a stop. If West Roxbury puts it in the end zone here before halftime,
could be
3-touchdown game.
You might have a bunch of zombies coming out for English intermission.
So West Roxbury takes their last time out here with 44 seconds left to go.
A smart move
before
though,
halftime.
because now, they probably given the team that huddle, because see the entire team huddle went over to the sideline. They probably gave them 2 plays in case this first play gets stopped in bounds. So it's not good to come out of the huddle and have one of your players not know where he's going. I mean, it's just like somebody missed. Isidore is trying to figure out where he's supposed to be. Okay, now he's set.
Luna now the fullback, Stewart the deep back. We got a bunch formation for West Roxbury. And it's McBean who drops the football. English picks it up. And Boston English brings it back to the 46-yard line as number 17, Hakeem Oligan,
I'll tell you,
coming
Pat,
up with the fumble recovery.
You know, we can probably call that one trying to do a little too much. Actually, the ball got knocked off of Luna, as McBean was trying to get himself set to throw the football. So now English with the football, 36 seconds. They haven't had much success with pass protection for Castro so far. Maybe a screen play, but something which will involve Hobbs.
Castro back to throw down the right sideline. That's going to fall incomplete.
Yeah, I think that's just a wet ball. I mean, Castro's a much better passer than that, more accurate. Try and get some air under it, allow Williams to run, but totally overthrew that one.
Yeah, Stewart is also right on top of Ramonte Williams.
Well, I mentioned in the open, Stewart, you know, we talked about his shiftiness as a runner, setting up both touchdowns, but he's also a cover cornerback. We talk about that in college and pros a lot. All game, he's gone one-on-one with Williams, who's a much taller and bigger receiver. So I guess the West Roxbury defensive coaches, they've seen enough of Stewart to know that he can take the best receiver and to stand with the one-on-one.
There's passes over to Williams there as he makes a nice move past the 35 up to the 33-yard line.
Okay, now the first down will stop the clock momentarily. English has to hurry up to the line of scrimmage or call a timeout. They've called a timeout. That time, instead of running into the coverage, Williams stopped short, caught the pass, and then added enough yards after the catch to get the first down. Well, we talked about how on one side with West Roxbury had the ball, if they had gone for the third score, now English has a decent chance. A couple of plays left before halftime to get on the board themselves.
Hobbs again the deep back. He got Soto and Brown as the fullback. Castro over the right side.
Nice
He
play,
gives it to
Brown.
Connor Brown.
Yeah.
And Cameron
Good
Brown
finish.
plows forward inside the 20.
That's going to stop the clock for the first down.
Yeah, English stops it with 15 seconds left to go before halftime.
Okay, nice run by Brown. Another timeout by English. Yeah, it's a short drop by Castro. So the protection is not all that crucial. Now Williams has gone to the left side as a wide receiver.
Castro now rolling to his left. Gets it over to Williams. And Ramonte Williams trying to make a couple of defenders
Fumble
miss.
the
He loses
football.
the ball. And English recovers, and Coach Conway is going to let that run.
Are they going to let it run out? Okay. Again, Williams comes back to the football. There's the pass. Beats the cornerback. But right now, again, that swarming West Roxbury defense recovered after the catch. There's the ball being knocked out. He's got 56 for West Roxbury. Marcus Roddy. Very nice play by Roddy. Not only was he making the tackle, but he actually knocked the ball out of this halftime. Yep, that is halftime. No, I'm sorry, timeout. So the officials are going to give a timeout to English. I mean, the play was dead with about 4 seconds to go. So
English must have called the
if they
timeout.
called
They
it,
just didn't stop the clock in time. There is zeros on the scoreboard,
So
but it looks like English are going to get one more.
Yeah, might be one untimed down. Yeah.
This could be huge for Boston English. They can somehow
Both
put
of
this
them.
in the end zone.
Exactly. It'd be for both teams. I mean, it'll be deflating for West Roxbury if they give up a touchdown. Okay, they put 3 seconds back. It'll be deflating for West Roxbury if they give up a touchdown. 3 seconds left to go in the half. Meanwhile, for English, like you said, it'd be a huge boost. Yeah, because West Roxbury had the ball to start the game, so English get the ball in the third quarter. Let's see how accurate Castro can be on this last play. We're going to have
English.
Shotgun formation for English. Yeah.
English with the ball at the 18-yard line. This should be the last play of the half.
Yep. Throw it to the end zone.
And Castro. And now it's Brown who picks it up. He loses it.
Balls everywhere. This is crazy.
Thought that was the annexation of Puerto Rico for a minute.
It was crazy. It's like,
My
what?
goodness.
This ball going everywhere. Well, I mentioned earlier, it's almost as if West Roxbury is playing on a dry field and English is playing on the wet field.
So Desir with another fumble recovery for West Roxbury. They're going to head into the half on top, 14-0 over the Boston English New Mission Eagles. And right now, English has just got to go into the locker room and say,
shake your heads, get some towels.
Yeah, right. Try to regroup somehow, right?
Some guy, if you have any extra jerseys in there, they're going to put some dry jerseys on. And I'll tell you, a lot of shaking heads will be inside because they had some opportunities. They made some good plays, but those fumbles were killers in that first half.
We also have a player down on the turf right now for West Roxbury. And I can't tell.
Yeah, let's just hope it's cramping. This kind of weather.
It's funny how, when you play in an atmosphere where there's a lot of moisture in the air, you actually do cramp up.
That's what.
I think that's what it is.
That's Desir, Ellery. Yeah, I think it's just cramping.
That left arm, though. He's holding his left arm gingerly.
Well, the way he got up, though. I mean, he got up. It seemed like he was okay when he got up.
Yeah. So Desir, we'll see what happens here. The second half
he's a key guy
Desir.
for them. Yeah.
So at the half here, West Roxbury on top of the English New Mission Eagles, 14-0 here at English High School in the North Division 8 semifinals. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have our halftime stats along with some first half highlights of one of the players from West Roxbury when we come back.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing. And it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried Viking, and it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do it like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same. Gotta get the boys.
Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit And now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Welcome back to Boston English High School for the North Division 8 sectional semifinals. The West Roxbury Raiders lead the English New Mission Eagles 14-0 here at the half, and certainly for Boston English, you just got to forget about that first half. It's a disastrous first half.
The wipeout. They just got to figure out what are they going to do about that defensive line play for West Roxbury, because they've really bottled up Hobbs, the big runner for English, and they've had excellent pass defense, rather. So English has to figure out some answers. That's their main halftime message.
Without question. Let's take a look at the halftime stats here at English High. And first up, it's going to be the English Eagles.
Not a whole lot there. Exactly. Hobbs, 23 yards and a half of 6 carries. That's really low for him. Soto had a couple of carries for 11. Receiving, there was a 12-yard catch second quarter by Brown, and then a 6-yard catch, 6 yards and 2 catches for Williams. Castro, really disastrous first half trying to throw the ball. Had that crazy interception, which was results in the second touchdown, only 20 yards, throwing 3 for 5.
Let's take a look at West Roxbury's halftime stats.
West Roxbury, much better, much balanced. Stewart, the main player, didn't score the touchdowns, but he set up both of the touchdowns as 61 yards, 8 carries. You get, presumably, he had the touchdown as he has 15 yards and 5 carries. Pena, that huge bomb catch, 64 yards, was set up as the touchdown for Westy. And then, of course, McBean, 1-for-1 with that 64-yard to Pena. That was really beautiful.
Absolutely, and we talked about Talif Stewart didn't have a touchdown there in the first half, but certainly had a lot of nice runs, including that 2-pointer.
Exactly. He was the guy who English had no answers for. Once he got outside, and I was more impressed with his inside running because he's only about 160 pounds, and this is the one that he just keeps on going. After his hit, add on another like 10 yards. Again, just loves that sweep, cuts, makes decisions very quickly. He's been the guy.
And this is that 2-pointer.
This is the 2-point
just
conversion.
Electrifying run here by Talif Stewart.
He had to run at least 40 yards to get that 2-point conversion.
Got to run 40 to get 2.5, but heck of a run there by Stewart.
You'll take it. Yeah.
14-point lead here for West Roxbury as they're just about to start the third quarter here at Boston English High School. And right now, Boston English down by 14. They will get the ball to start the second half. We'll see if the English New Mission Eagles can somehow get their offense going.
I'd say the first thing they got to do is just relax, because when you get over anxious, you start jumping offside for procedure penalties. You start tightening with holding the ball. That's how it pops out. I mean, English had a bunch of fumbles in that first half. They had 4. Yeah. Well, they had 3 fumbles and they had interception. So English has got to get back to their regular game. And you got to believe that their 7-0 record is also on the minds of all the English players.
Ball fielded right around the 30-yard line. Good return here for the English Eagles. That's going to be brought back for a touchdown. Boston English. Number 21, Jermaine Illo.
Looking around, no flags. Talk about the best way to come back. 12 seconds into the second half, and who's that, Illo?
Yeah, Illo there for English with a great return. Let's take another look at it.
Well, gets a little bit of a seam right here. He's in full speed. Right now, he's got the head back. He knows Stewart, number 5, can maybe catch him, but not enough of an angle. And Lou hugged that sideline all the way to not give Stewart a chance to knock him out of bounds.
Just what the doctor ordered there for the English New Mission Eagles, as they will now try to tack on the 2-point conversion. It's Hobbs with the carry. Takari to the outside. He finds the pylon for the 2-pointer.
Well, you talk about sparking things up. And they'll lose the senior, too. Watch Hobbs. This is one of the few times, it's tough times tucking the ball in, but he knows he can get us inside the pylon. That's important. We've seen it all year, Pat. 2-point conversions in tight games like this to go back and forth always end up deciding the winner. Whether you make them or miss them, and we've seen it in almost every game this season.
Boston English getting just what the doctor ordered as they put on 8 quick points here to start the third quarter. There's only 12 seconds gone by here in the third. Now it's a 6-point game.
You couldn't ask for a more perfect start for the English sideline.
Now it's West Roxbury's turn to try to regain the momentum after a big play from England.
Now, English tried a squib kick to actually start the game. So let's see if they have something in mind here. West Roxbury they do have 4 guys, actually 5 up here at midfield to recover any sort of trickery by the Eagles. Talk about taking a deep breath. This whole sideline for English is feeling like that.
Von Doolen doing the kicking duties. That's another squib kick, and it's bounced around by West Roxbury. Now it's Pena on the return, and we get a face mask on the English New Mission Eagles. It's going to be Omari Stevens who's whistled for that penalty.
Yeah. A little over anxious, trying for a one-on-one tackle, but like you said, got to hold the face mask. That's going to, well, it's the same as giving West Roxbury a return. So that 15 yards will be tacked on.
You sort of see why the coaches are doing these squib kicks too, though, because of the wet football, because of the wet turf.
A lot of bouncing around.
A lot of
face mask. 15 from here, right?
I'll tell you, it's in reality, Pat, you haven't seen as many penalties as you can expect in a wet game like this. Then you see the football finally being picked up. Face mask will come up right there. Let go far too late. Sometimes if you touch the mask but then don't grab it and you do move your hand, you may not get a call. But that one was definitely part of the tackle. This is one guy short. Yeah, you got to call a timeout, otherwise it'd be a 5-yard penalty. So English has to waste a timeout to set their defense.
It's Angel Pena heading into the game.
Yeah,
you never know if it's the guy running in.
Well, that's the thing. It's one of those you just don't understand know which one it is.
Down on the field, our sideline reporter Noah Riley's got an update. Noah, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. I wanted to take a second to spotlight English's Tristan Champagne. At the end of the last half, Coach Conway put him into the game. And not only that, but he forced 2 fumbles on back-to-back plays. At halftime, he was pumping his players up. They took it to the house on the first kickoff, and English finds himself right back in this one. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
And now, you know what, Pat? Now we're starting to see some mistakes on West Roxbury's side. This play is going to come back. This is the same sweep they ran so efficiently in the first half. But now, okay, we're going to have the hold.
We have a hold on White, number 89.
That's a killer. That's the tight end.
10 yards, repeat first down.
Yeah, Carlos Roches whistled for that hold. Now it's like, what's happening to English in the first half is shifting over to West Roxbury.
I was just thinking the same thing. I mean, it's just halftime. The only thing that changed was halftime. Obviously, that big 80-yard touchdown kickoff return. But, I mean, West Roxbury is now just got to try to settle themselves down. English is blitzing.
The pitch over the left side is to Stewart. To Leaf. Not a lot of running room that time as he's gang tackled by the English Eagles.
Again, we're talking about a key series for English defensively and also for West Roxbury in offense. West Roxbury got to reestablish control of the football. You see Stewart. Little better reaction by the English defense, because in the first half, Stewart was averaging 12 yards a carry, and on that particular sweep play, he was getting more than that. Second and in about 16?
It looks to be 2nd and 16 now for West Roxbury. Again, it's Stewart, the deep back in the backfield, Miranda, the fullback. And McBean going to go to the air. Now he's got to scramble. McBean looking down the middle of the field, and that's almost picked off by Boston English. Number 99, George Zabulu.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that was a bad decision there, because you never want to throw the ball late in the middle of the field. McBean getting some pressure, and he actually did a good job to set himself, but just threw the ball, like you said, 99 had the best chance to get to it. So 3rd and 16. Got to watch Pena. He had that big 64-yard catch from the first half.
Same formation for West Roxbury, except that they have Pena and Bertucci at the top of your screen. Bertucci in the slot.
Well, the English are showing blitz.
The pitch over the left side to Stewart. Talif with a nice cut. But he's got nowhere to go as Boston English after a couple of yards.
They are fired up. And, you know, they're sort of taking some chances, leaving themselves vulnerable for a pass. But in this situation, they're just running on emotion defensively. I'd say this is the same play that they were getting a lot of yardage out of the first half. English is just responding to it much quicker. Champagne, just like Noah was talking about. So, forced to punt.
Pena back to kick. As this is a good spiraling punt that's fielded right around the 30-yard line. And that's Mack on the return. He's wrapped up beautifully at the 30.
Stewart.
No return on the play.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, if there's anybody one-on-one defensively, West Roxbury doesn't care about Stewart. He's been one-on-one defense all night. Beautiful tackle. Beautiful tackle.
They're going to mark him down at the 28, so now they move it back up.
And Mack's not usually an easy guy to bring down. Stewart's only a junior, I think.
Yeah, he's got another year.
Yeah, he's an impressive player. I'm telling you, with everything he does, you know, he's flashy on offense, but I'm equally as impressed with his defense.
Last week, 2 interceptions out of the cornerback spot, along with a couple of big tackles against Charlestown. So Boston English down by 6, but with 8:24 left to go in the third quarter, a lot of game left. And the Eagles now on first down. They get a little bit of space for Takari Hobbs, but then he's wrestled down at the 34, so a short gain on that play.
I'm telling you, they've really kept him balled up all night. He's used to right about here seeing some daylight. Nothing there. Just caught from behind.
Carlos Roches.
Yeah, Roches again, right?
Tackle.
Yeah.
He is a very difficult customer to block.
Really, he got that size, and he roams from side to side. He's just a smart player, and he right now is angry because it was him that had that holding penalty on the first down. So he wants to make up for it defensively.
2nd down and 7 now for the Eagles. Hobbs gets it again, tries to bounce it to the outside. Takari jumps in the air, and that is never good in football. Bounces right back, but not the greatest decision there by Takari Hobbs.
Well, he knew there's nowhere to go. I mean, he just wanted to try to get something before he was out of bounds. But you're right, that's not. Well, the only good thing, you're near your own sideline, so a couple of your teammates on the sideline will probably help you with breaking your fall. 3rd and about 2.
And it's Soto trying to fight forward, but he's wrapped up in the backfield. We have a late flag. If that's on Westy, that's going to be an English first down.
see the ball's marked first. Soto had a little spin.
There was personal foul, face mask. Here. We're going 15.
That's
the end of the run. Right from there, we're going 15 that way.
That's 2 huge penalties against West Roxbury here in the first, 4 minutes of the second half. One on offense and then one on defense. The one on offense killed that drive, and this one here is going to keep English's drive alive.
Yeah, that penalty on Marcus Roddy, who's had a great game defensively, but big mistake there. So English.
Roddy's been around just about every gang tackle, but like you said, that's a little over anxious.
So now a 1st and 10 for English at the 46 of West Roxbury. Castro over to Williams. He can't hang on to it. Ball will fall incomplete, so no gain on that play for English. And passed a little high for Raymonte, but he usually can haul that in.
It was too high, but this is the first time we didn't see Stewart on Williams 1-1. So, again, you get so anxious because you know you have a little bit of room once you pull it in. You're wearing those gloves. Sometimes I wonder about those gloves when they get wet, how effective they really are.
A lot of times you have those newer gloves especially, they have that strange sort of surface to them, but when they get wet, some of them are supposed to adapt to the wet weather. I mean, the technology is amazing. But 2nd down and 10 now for English. They hand off to Hobbs this time. Takari finds a small seam. Hobbs dances out of bounds at the 49-yard line. So a 7-yard pickup there for Takari Hobbs.
Well, we saw him, I think it was the East Boston game. We talked about his patience. This is the first time tonight I think we've seen his patience as a runner, allowing his teammates to set up their blocks. 3rd and about 3.
This time they go to Connor Brown, and Carlos Roches is all over it. Cameron Brown rather, might have. Now I didn't gain any yardage on the play, so it'll be 4th and 3 now for Boston English.
Now you go back to Hobbs in this one. The wide side of the field is to the right. English to the right of English. They've been running Hobbs to the left the entire game. Let's see if they switch it up to try to give. Well, Stewart's on that side, so you may want to stay away from him. Big play for English offense, though.
Go with the reverse to Raymonte Williams. Needs one block. He got it. Williams picks up the 1st down. Raymonte up the field. He'll go in for a touchdown. Double reverse.
Trickery on a 4th down. I tell you, got to give the Eagles some credit. The Eagles coaching staff credit, because it's like a risky play, but I'm telling you, teams love to take the advantage of the wide side of the field. Good block there.
Yeah, Oligan making sure that Williams had the room.
Williams just turned on the Jets. We got a tie game.
That ties it up at 14 here with 5:47 left to go in the 3rd quarter. And now Boston English will try to take the lead with this 2-point conversion attempt.
Castro is now adjusting the backfield. Gotta hurry up, it's still a time down.
Hand off to Hobbs. Takari tries to fight forward. Not sure if he's anywhere near the goal line. He's very close. They're going to drop him back, and he does not get the 2-point conversion.
So the game stays tied. Looks like he has some space right there, but for some reason the West Roxbury team was able to react and keep him from the end zone. But most importantly, the English New Mission Eagles have scored twice here in the first, 5+ minutes of this half to come all the way back to a tie game.
7-play, 70-yard drive for Boston English that ends in a Raymonte Williams reverse for a touchdown.
Yeah, 38 yard. It's actually a run. It's a rush. So 38-yard touchdown run. Hey, let's give a little credit also to Soto, because he's the one who made the handoff. After you get the ball from Castro, he had to make the handoff clean to Williams, so he could stay in stride, get that opposite field sideline, and just use his speed to get the 6 points.
Yeah, we've certainly seen quarterbacks and running backs have a tough time exchanging the ball.
Especially fourth down.
So when you got Soto doing a good job, that's huge for English. Now on the return, it's to leave Stewart, who's wrestled down at the 40 after another good kick.
I tell you, one of the few times the entire game that one guy has brought Stewart down. Here's Stewart having a tough time picking up. Once he finally gets it, getting wrapped up. Good job with special teams.
Man, you take a look at the two sidelines now, and English is got a lot more pep in their step.
Talk about being alive. And now this big crowd style. Actually, there's a huge contingent for West Roxbury, too.
That's right.
But the English side, obviously.
There's some scoring plays so far here for Boston English as they see Aloha with the 81-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Hobbs got the two-pointer, and then Williams with the 38-yard rushing touchdown for the English New Mission Eagles. There you see Westie's scores as they had the Presume 8-yard touchdown run. Then Miranda in the second quarter picks up the 18-yard interception for the touchdown. Stewart with the two-pointer. So both these teams scoring touchdowns in different ways for sure. This is going to be a fun second half here at English High.
Yeah, defensive touchdown, special teams touchdown. You're right.
Now on first down for the Raiders, they give it to Presume. And Israel plows forward up to the 45.
I'm thinking back to before the game, Pat. Remember the cameraman who came over to us to get the rosters. He said, 10 people here. I said, well, don't worry about it. It's going to fill up. It's a playoff game. Here we are. I can't even find him now.
Right.
Don't see him anywhere.
Well, it's nice when we got to the game first to get a couple of parking spots in that small parking lot of English. Now you probably can't find a parking spot in a mile. Second down and 4 now for the Raiders. And they drop the snap.
The football.
Tough to see who recovered. I think West Roxbury was able to pounce on it.
It looks like the center actually get the ball right back.
Yeah, Jerry Lopez.
Yeah.
Tough to tell from our vantage point if that was a bad snap or if it was just a bad.
But sometimes, it could be a good snap, but sometimes because it's wet, it can pop right off the quarterback's hands. Let's not forget, this is a semifinal sectional game in the Massachusetts playoff structure. So a lot on the line. And I think I mentioned earlier, while this game is going on, there's another game out in Everett where Pope John is playing Lynn Vocational. I'm sorry, it's going to be tomorrow. Okay, they're playing tomorrow. So
So the winner of that game will play the winner of this game.
Right here, yeah. The winner of the Pope John Lynn Vocational will play the winner of this one for the Division 8 North final.
Third down and 3 now for the Westie Raiders. And the handoff to Presume.
Israel
pounding his way down the field past the 45 up to the 44-yard line.
He ran over Williams. Williams is still shaken up. We talked about Presume with his bulk, his strength, and his running style.
Ramonte.
Yeah.
Might have been one of those hits where you just get nailed in the gut and you get the wind knocked out of you and you can't breathe for about 45 seconds.
Let's hope that's what it is.
Boy, Israel Presume, you talk about the backfield for West Roxbury. It is a true thunder and lightning backfield.
But watch this play. He's going to lower his shoulder right there. Boom. Yeah, I think you're right, Peck. That was right into the solar plexus, right into the chest. So the wind might have just goes right out. It's one of the worst feelings in the world, too. Oh.
You're gasping for air and you just can't
it's
get
not
it.
There. Right.
And then about a minute later, you're totally fine. 7 tackles and a 38-yard touchdown run tonight for Raymonte Williams. So any
Obviously,
type of time that he misses is going to be very significant. I think he's going to be okay.
Yes, he's looking like he's just trying to get some air back in his lungs.
Catch that breath.
Yeah. I think he called that 100% right, Pat, because they're not looking at any other part of his body. He's just trying to get that air back into his body. Had that happen to me in football plenty of times. It happened to me in boxing, too. I was boxing one time. And that's the worst thing, because you got a guy in front
wailing
of you.
on you.
Oh, you try to catch your breath.
The worst is it happened to me in practice when I was playing scout team running back, and everybody keeps asking you, "Are you okay?" But you can't talk.
Yeah, you can't say anything. Matter of fact, you can barely open your mouth.
Right. Raiders now with a first down at the 45 after the run by Presume. The handoff this time of the left side to Pena. Pena drops the football. Boston English picks it up.
Well, it doesn't matter.
At the 40-yard line.
English is offside. It's going to come back.
Yeah, it looked like
not going to matter.
It looked like the nose guard came across.
Yeah, English is offside, so they're going to.
The flag is on the far side of the field. You're all over it, Alan.
Yeah, it's going to be a 5-yard penalty against English. But give West Roxbury credit, they actually had the right play call for that English defense. English has been blitzing a couple of those linebackers, Mack and, two of the linebackers have been blitzing on these runs. That time they got caught inside. The play did get to the sideline the way West Roxbury wants, and the ball comes sliding out.
Good job, Alex. You have illegal procedure, offense.
No, actually,
wow.
First down.
Procedure. But it's going to.
Now, a false start
I thought
blow the play dead, but an illegal procedure.
Let it run.
They let it go.
Yeah.
So that is a fumble recovery by English.
Yeah, I really thought it was offside on English.
Yeah, it looked like the nose guard got across very early.
Somebody must have drawn him off. Sometimes with the center, as you mentioned the nose guard, let's see if we can see it.
And Mack just got up so quick, I thought it was offsides. Hard to see there.
Well, that's West Roxbury's third turnover. So English had, 4 in the first half?
That's right.
Now West Roxbury is having their troubles with the ball.
Give it to Hobbs here on first down. What a cut by Hobbs. Hobbs now to the outside. Takari Hobbs breaking loose as he's dragged down at the 22. That might be his best run of the night.
And not only that, Pat, but you have no idea how much confidence this gives that English offense to see Hobbs getting one of his patented runs that he gets pretty much every game. And you know what? A little thing I just noticed on that replay. Williams, back in the game, didn't fill a block because it would have been a block in the back.
Now on first down, it's Brown with the carry. Cameron Brown inside the 20 down to the 18.
Well, we always talk about how games can turn around on one play. You just go back to that kickoff return to start the second half.
That's been the biggest play of the game.
Brown, that thundering runner here, similar to, it's ironic, Presume and Brown both have 33. Same type of runners on each side.
Yeah, the two bulldozing running backs sharing that number, and now it's Hobbs, the electrifying running back.
Wow.
Takari.
2 cuts.
Inside the 10-yard line. They're going to mark him down right at the 10.
See, we have a beautiful angle on that one, Pat, because it's right in front of us. But he made 2 beautiful cuts. Watch this. Right on the screen, right there, beats the first guy. Now, there's another one coming up right here. He's able to step out of there. He actually lost the football, but had it bounce right back to him.
All of a sudden, Hobbs now at 71 yards rushing here this evening. First and goal from the 10 now for Boston English. And Hobbs, now Castro trying to throw it to the back of the end zone. Touchdown!
Wow.
English Eagles, it's Hakeem Oligan with the reception.
They have an injured English player.
I think that's Hobbs down on the turf, and he looks like he might be okay.
Yep, it is Hobbs, you're right. See, there's a play fake to Hobbs. He got plastered because West Roxbury thought he had the football. So, luckily for him, he's going to So watching the play fake was to Hobbs. Off the screen, he gets hit. On the run, you see Castro. That's some good arm strength there because he was totally off balance on the run and put it right in between the 1 and 7. So Hakeem Olagun, they got his touchdown. The English is ahead, 20-14.
Eagles now trying to tack on the two-pointer. And I think it was Brown who got the carry. No, that wasn't Brown.
Soto?
No, that's Exelholm who got the carry there. So Herbie unable to do anything with it. Had a small crease there, but Roches just gobbled him up.
Goes it right up, yeah. So again, we see a failed two-point conversion. Score stays a 6-point difference, 20-14.
And now it's
crazy third quarter, huh?
Oh, it's been unreal. Now it's West Roxbury's time to kind of rally the troops here.
You got to go back to Stewart. Stewart's that type of runner who can turn something into nothing. I think that at this point, he's the guy. And preferably some plays that English hasn't seen yet. I mean, the sweeps English has had an answer for. Up the middle, he gets something, but not all that much. Maybe a screen pass to him, or give him a wide receiver screen, something to give him some open space. But he's the guy, though.
6-play, 33-yard drive for the English Eagles. They're now on top, 20-14 here with 2:49 left to go in the third. And Roches is just going to fall on that squib kick at the 36, 46 rather.
And he gets his team excellent field position too by cutting that off. Usually on a squib, teams like to have the ball go past their first line and have those guys block to make sure it gives time for the second line to recover. But Roches, being like a veteran player with good hands, just decided, let me get it right here, and here we are close to midfield. What did you say? Last week English was down 6-0, then ran off a 42-20 win. So second half comebacks are nothing new to this Eagle team.
Yeah, English was down 14-8 after the first quarter, then put up a 12 spot in the second quarter. So you see Pena with the carry.
Yeah, English is keeping these linebackers so close to the line of scrimmage now. It's really making a difference for keeping these running backs bottled up. That was a little bit of a change. They actually had a wide receiver run. I don't know what that halftime speech was. I'll tell you, English better bottle that one because it got them going from the opening kickoff of the third quarter.
Second down and 10 now for the Raiders from their own 46-yard line. This time it's Miranda, the deep back. It's Presume who gets it on the fullback dive. Israel Presume plowing forward up to the 37-yard line.
Plowing is like the best description, Pat, because we saw him run over Williams earlier. This one is a plow. There you go. He likes to. That was good. That was good balance too, because he lowered the shoulder but didn't lose his balance.
Coach Wright's very happy that Israel is back to full strength.
This is the kind of answer you were talking about. Let's see if they can finish it off.
They give it to Presume again, and this time English is all over that fullback dive.
You're just not seeing the same control of the offensive line by West Roxbury because English, like I said, they brought those linebackers up to the line of scrimmage. They're doing a very good job reacting.
Jalen White coming from behind to trip up Presume on that play. So second down and 9 now for West Roxbury. As we mentioned, West Roxbury, the Boston North champs, Boston English New Mission, the Boston South champs. Is essentially the unofficial city championship here this evening,
along
with the state playoff game.
with going into the division final.
Handed off to Pena. And again, he has nowhere to go with it. It'll be 3rd down and probably 8. He might have picked up a yard on that play.
I wonder if Stewart's okay. I mean, he's not in. Pena's in the tailback. That would be key. I mean, well, Stewart's he's played both ways. He's played virtually the entire game. But 3rd and, 3rd and about 7. It's going to be end of the 3rd quarter.
So after 3 here at English High School, it's the English Eagles now back on top, 20-14. One of the touchdown runs, this reverse to senior Ramonte Williams. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have the 4th quarter here from English High. Right after these words, do not go away.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his
I
backpack.
can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to Boston English High School in Jamaica Plain for our North Division 8 sectional semifinals as the English Eagles lead the West Roxbury Raiders 20-14. Folks, if you want to follow us here on Game of the Week on social media, go to facebook.com/Game of the Week Boston. A lot of good stuff up there, including which games we'll be covering the rest of the season. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW.
3rd and 7.
McBean throws it over to Bertucci. And Bertucci's dragged down on the far side by Hakeem Oligan.
A wide receiver screen. Actually more like a tight end screen. So the blitz again up the middle.
You see Oligan chasing him down right around the 30-yard line. They mark him down at the 28.
Yeah, 4-down territory for West Roxbury.
Yeah, so it'll be 4th and 3 now for the Raiders. Just the second completion for McBean. His first one was that 64-yard bomb to Luis Pena.
We sure hope Stewart's not hurt. He hasn't been in this entire series. Now, English has been guessing the snap count this entire series. Now the 2 linesmen are going to confer on this one to make sure they saw the same thing, because there was movement on each side. Earl Garrett, our referee. Yeah, this time they caught English on the blitz.
2-5, 2-5.
So Mack is called for the offsides penalty there on Boston English. So that'll
Like
be
I
a
said,
first down for the Raiders.
The linebackers, they've been left your screen. Watch 2. Yeah, he's definitely over. But I'm just saying that they've been guessing the snap count the last couple of series. That time they just a little too over anxious and gave West Roxbury a first down.
So Raiders now with a first down at the 23-yard line of the English Eagles.
Well, lost his footing and a flag. Wow.
So it's Presume with the carry that time, and we'll see what the penalty is.
Hold here. You keep first down. Yep.
It's a holding penalty there on West Roxbury. That'll back them up 10. To be a first down and 20 now for the Raiders.
I think it just goes to show, Pat, sometimes with young players, high school players, when things are going well, your head just stays in the game. You don't make the mental or physical mistakes. That's what happened the entire first half of West Roxbury when they were up 14-0. Now that they're down, we're seeing some mistakes that you're just not used to.
Couldn't quite see the hold there on the replay. First and 20 now for the Raiders. McBean again going to the air, down the right sideline, and it's almost intercepted. Ramonte Williams
did a good job to come over, playing like a free safety position to knock that one away. Nice throw by McBean, actually. Yeah, okay. Wound up and again trying to get Pena out there. Pena actually had the cornerback beat, but Williams saved the play for English. Think about this game, Pat, you're still going to go back to that second quarter when West Roxbury was up 14-0 and had first and goal at 6. And their own penalties and a couple of good plays defensively by English kept them out of the end zone, kept it a 14-0 game. Huge, huge part of this game so far.
9:12 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Our sideline reporter Noah Riley's got an update for us. Noah, what do you have?
Thanks, guys. As you may have noticed, currently West Roxbury is operating without running back Talif Stewart. It looks like he has a leg injury and also possibly concussion-like symptoms. He's unlikely to return to the game, and we'll see if West Roxbury can continue their offensive output without them. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Oh, that's a tough one. That is a killer.
There you see Talif Stewart down on the bench on the far sideline, actually on the phone right now. I'm sure he's talking to a relative. And you have any type, could be. He needs some kind of sympathy.
She's watching the game and saying, what's going on?
Yeah, where are you? He's probably saying, how come you're not here?
Yeah, all right, well, maybe she's in front of us. I don't know. Oh, that's a killer, though.
Absolutely. If he's
had a monster game on both sides of the football.
That's right.
Now, you know what's funny? Now, on that kickoff, he did get slammed down to the turf. So I'm wondering if that's what the concussion precaution is up for.
Yeah, anytime
you're talking about a big loss.
Anytime there's anything close to concussion, that player will not be returning to the game. We'll see if the Raiders can come back without him. Facing the tough hole right now at 2nd down and 20. It's McBean.
Look at all the room he got.
Nobody was open. Wow. He's going to try to cut back. And he's sacked in the backfield there by Boston English. Big number 54 for the Eagles, Jalen White.
And how often do you trust a defensive lineman to go one-on-one with a running quarterback? Left to your screen, you'll see White come in. There he is right there. Okay, after the cutback attempt, White stayed with the play.
Yeah, George Zabalou also getting in on the stop.
Wow, that was
English
impressive.
Eagles.
Because again, all the skill guys are deep in the backfield on pass coverage.
Raiders now faced with a 3rd and about 20.
Well, I just can't get back to losing Stewart. Oof. Talk about bad luck. I feel more for him because he played so well, but also for the team because he's like one of their main weapons.
They fake the pitch to Presume, and it's McBean down the right sideline looking for Pena. It's picked off. Intercepted by Ramonte Williams. Cuts it back up towards the hash mark, and we get a flag on the play. Williams might have been horse-collared. We also have a player down. It could have been blocking the back. A lot of possibilities on this one. And Williams is still down on the turf.
It's a tough play for West Roxbury. First of all, you have McBean threw it too late, and then I think it slipped out of his hand because it started fluttering up there, giving Williams plenty of time to get under it for the interception. And again, now see, you get 20 yards to get a first down, and so you have to go deep downfield. You don't have Stewart who's your best speed guy in that situation. But Pena actually got himself open. I feel bad for McBean because he, for whatever reason, just held the ball that,
so we have
that like 1 second too late.
Hey!
A bunch of stuff going on. Yeah. So referee O'Gara's going to tell us exactly what.
6, 9, 10, 11. I got 12 guys out here. Someone don't belong. Who wasn't out here at the start of the play? Somebody wasn't out here at the start of the.
Okay, so.
Okay. Now we have an interception.
Where was the end of the run?
Right here.
Right here?
Right here. Right here. Okay. We had. Basically, what we're going to have is a unsportsmanlike, defenseless player hit, okay? Because he blocked him in the back anyways, but it's white. So, yes, okay? So we got a personal foul, 15 yards.
That's going to be
that way.
English.
So that's going to be on Boston English.
Here.
Oh, it's on West Roxbury.
Wait a minute.
I thought it was on English.
There was a block in the back on the interception. Oh, it might just been an angry play.
And a Raider might have just lined up an English Eagle. Okay, so Raymonte Williams was considered a defenseless receiver. And the way that he was
maybe
hit.
He must have been on his way down to the tackle.
Not sure
you
if
see our crowd?
Yeah, it is packed
Huge
here at
crowd.
Boston English.
Wow, this is, you talk about a turnaround. It was a 3rd and 20 pass play that was actually open with Pena. McBean could not get the ball to him to watch. See, McKean, he had some time, but he just held it too long. Floated it up there, and there comes Williams again, playing like center field. Let's watch the end of this play. He does start going down.
I don't see a penalty there
I'm
at all.
not
It must
sure.
have been
away
something
from the
else.
ball. I think you're right, Pat. When you say it was away from the ball, definitely, because that was just a regular tackle.
Yeah, that was a very clean hit. So it must have been another defenseless player on English who maybe was trailing the play, and a Raider, instead of just going after the ball, just went for a hit.
Yeah.
Boy, English has a chance to really take control of this game now. And now the defensive pressure is on West Roxbury. They've got to get a stop.
English now at the 35-yard line. They do the double reverse again, and this time they get a face mask penalty on West Roxbury again. So we're going to have another 15-yarder. That's going to be. And now they threw another flag. That could be unsportsmanlike on one of the teams too. We might have these two penalties wiped out.
Champaign. This time it's Tristan on that reverse. For a game that actually started out with a few penalties in the first half, this has really gone downhill. So
English might have been trying for a
reverse
pass there as Champaign is the
They
backup.
just let him know.
He is a backup quarterback, you're right.
We have personal foul, face mask here. We have a personal foul, face mask here.
Oh, all right.
We have a personal foul here.
Okay.
So you got 2 out of 3, right?
So we have 3 penalties on the play. Face mask penalty on West Roxbury. Face mask penalty on Boston English. Those two wipe each other out.
Right.
Then you have another personal foul. It must have been after the play. One of the English Eagles must have said something.
Yeah.
And
Dino
that's
said
where the
something.
15-yard penalty.
Let's see if we can figure anything out. Just
Clearly a face mask. So the two players went at each other.
Oh, they both had face masks, right? Okay. Oh, yeah, it looked like, Champaign said something. He said something, and plus he bumped into the West Roxbury player, so that was probably a personal foul.
So just when English was in great position.
I was just going to say, now this is what West Roxbury's got to take advantage of. They've got to take advantage of this defensive help.
1st and 25 now for the Eagles. They get it over the right side, but the ball is not caught that time as Taywon Brown was unable to hang on to it.
Okay, I saw he's just floated it out there. Brown just, I don't know if he lost concentration or looked up into a light or what, but it went right through his hands. I mean, statistically a tough night for Castro. Just 4 for 8, only less than 25 yards. So in terms of yards, it doesn't look impressive at all. But he's thrown some good passes. They've all been the short variety because in the first half he was just getting pressured so much. Second half he's had a little more time.
Second down and 25 now for the English Eagles. Pitcher over the left side to Takari Hobbs. Leapfrogs one defender, and once again, that's why you don't want to jump. If he made a better cut,
I'll tell you,
he might have had some running room.
He's just one of those players that has a little flair to him.
He does.
And likes to make something when it's, like you said, it's really just not there.
Right. I mean, if Hobbs does
if he
some
planted
kind of
planted that left foot,
right,
and cut back to the middle, he might have had something. You're right. But he has so many moves.
Maybe he's trying to figure out which one to
exactly.
use.
He's really, he must feel so good because he was bottled up the entire first half, and now he's broken free the second half.
79 rushing yards now for Takari Hobbs.
Looks like he'll get 100 again.
Third down and 18 now for Boston English. Oh, and the snap goes by Castro. And he can't hang on to it. West Roxbury now recovers at the English 35. Ellery Desire with his third fumble recovery of the game.
Talk about a weird stat. How many times do you see one player with 3 fumble recoveries? Okay, you had the shotgun snap. That was supposed to be a handoff to Hobbs, but Castro never got it. There he is again.
We have a couple
like you say, he was on the turf at the end of the half, and we thought it was just a cramp. It must have been because he's been playing the entire second half. So
you said 2 penalties after the play, and I think they're going to give. You know what? I think there was too many men on the field.
Oh, that's a killer
for both teams.
That is a killer.
So that's going to wipe that whole play out. And they're going to do it all over again.
Yeah. Oh, talk about West Roxbury having bad luck.
Both teams had 12 men on the field.
That is.
There's got to be a rule in football. If both teams have 12 men, just let the play go.
Yeah.
Right?
Because only one team's being penalized.
Right.
West Roxbury is clearly being penalized because they had a fumble recovery. But
I think by the letter of the law, that is the correct ruling.
Oh, no, it definitely is.
That's absolutely the right call.
It's just a bad rule.
So third down and 18 now for the English Eagles. They hand off this time to Takari Hobbs. He loses the ball.
Fumble the football again. The English recovered it. Who is that?
That's Oligan.
Oligan's
on the recovery.
Ever since his touchdown pass, he's been all over the place.
He keeps sniffing the football.
You don't even see him in the play right now, but he's throwing a block. He comes right back, he responds, and gets the ball.
So it'll be fourth down and 8 now for the English New Mission Eagles.
This is a must stop for West Roxbury. They've got to stop this play.
Six-point lead here for Boston English. 5:15 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Another drop football. I don't know who has that one. There are about 12 players around the ball right now.
And another late play. You know, Pat, at this point, coaches are feeling some frustration because you can't blame the wet ball. That's just a bad handoff. On both ends. I mean, Brown's supposed to get it. He didn't secure it. Castro just made a bad.
They're still pulling guys off the pile. Another flag.
Another flag. We've got too many guys saying too much because right now, all these late flags, one came from the back judge. He saw something in that scrum for the football. And then the very late one, something was definitely said.
83. This is a wild football game we got here in the North Division 8 sectional semifinals.
Actually, if it's on Soto, no, Champagne got the last one. So if he's involved in this one, he might be out.
He might be tossed.
Now, usually a referee will talk directly to a head coach if the situation is close to something like that. Or just in general, telling the coach, tell your guys to stop all the melting off.
Huh? That was
Garrett
14. That was 4th down. That was 4th down. Yard to gain is going to be first.
Okay, so West Roxbury got the start, and they're going to get an extra 15 yards on the personal foul by English.
Late hit. Blue. It's going to be first down. White.
Well, that explains the back judge's flag. The other flag, well,
after the play.
I don't know what that was, but well, I guess West Roxbury took the late hit, so they have the ball. 5 minutes, 5:07, plenty of time. Get
Down
their
by
offense
6.
back.
Kazume is stripped in the backfield. McBean is stripped in the backfield, and Boston English has recovered. What a play by the Eagles.
Champagne.
Yeah, Tristan Champagne.
Tristan.
Swiping away the football.
You got to remember, there's 2 Champagnes. Tristan 3 and Preston 5. That time was Tristan on the blitz.
What a play.
He timed that blitz perfectly, knocked it away, and guess who found it again? Oligan.
Hakeem Oligan.
So he gets his second recovery.
No,
really strange game because the who is it? Desire for West Roxbury has 3 recoveries.
We talk about this English New Mission co-op and how, when you do something like that, sometimes you worry about the coaches. Who's the head coach? Who's an assistant? Luckily, New Mission's coach was leaving, so it all worked out. You had 2 quarterbacks that had to fight for the starting position. As there you see Hobbs getting the carry here on first down. Dakari has sprung free. Dakari Hobbs inside the 20. Big time run from the English tailback.
It was clear he was going to get 100 yards. He's over 100 right now.
Yeah, 25-yarder that time. To go back to what I was saying about 2 quarterbacks, you just saw Champagne and Castro interacting there. They're both the starting quarterbacks. They both fought it out all year. They've both started several games, but you saw Champagne and Castro kind of tapping each other on the head.
Oh, yeah. Nice run again. Follows his blocks. Uses the block by Williams. Uses the block by Brown. Hobbs has a chance to be a college running back. No doubt about that.
Certainly has the patience.
And maybe a little bit too much flair, but he does have excellent instincts.
It's time to hand it off to Cameron Brown, the fullback, and he still on his feet. They whistle it dead at the 16. Brown's still fighting. Brown's one of those players where you don't know when to blow the whistle because he just drags that pile.
Just keeps going. Similar to Presumi on the other side. Now watch, like you said, Pat, he's still going. He's not down yet. He's still going. Keeps those legs turning.
At this point, they've blown the whistle.
Right, they blew the whistle when he was in the scrum. Right.
So just a 2-yard pickup on first down for Cameron Brown. It'll be 2nd down and 8 now for Boston English.
Again, all the pressure's on this West Roxbury defense. We're under 4 minutes now, and the Raiders have got to get the football back.
The handoff to Soto. Julian Soto
nice
wrapped up in the backfield.
Desire?
Elderly Desire.
Yeah, English is asking for a flag on that, but Desire got up and then sort of stepped over Soto. A lot of times that can be a flag for taunting. Now watch what happens 44 in white when he gets we didn't see it, but he stepped over Soto, but I guess the officials just figured it was just a regular play. You watch it when he gets up. He stepped over him like that. Sometimes that can be construed as a unsportsmanlike play.
The one thing, he didn't look down on him.
Right,
so
that's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
that's why
There
they
you go.
kinda
Okay,
kept
good
the flag
point.
in their
Good point.
pocket.
Good point.
If
A
he
lot
was
of
to stare
times-
down or even
there
say
you go.
something, that's
Get
when the flag
taunting.
probably comes
Right,
out.
yeah.
So it'll be 3rd and 9 now for English. I think that 3rd and 10. Then we got another pre-snap
Delay.
penalty.
Offense.
Play a game on the English New Mission Eagles.
Well, they're just helping the West Roxbury defense now. You see a coaching staff, very concerned coaching staff for West Roxbury. I mean, think about this, Pat. They went into halftime up 14-0. They controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football the entire first half. Should have been up more than 14, actually. But it appeared to have English just like stopped. The second half has been all English. West Roxbury hasn't even scored this half.
Third and 15 now for the English Eagles. And that's Champagne with the carry. And I'm sorry, that's Takari Hobbs with the carry. And he's down on the turf once again.
He got slammed that time. Watch the end of this play after the tackle. Watch how he gets slammed to the turf.
Carlos Roches.
Oh, yeah.
And his full frame falling down on Takari Hobbs. Oh, he's grabbing his left leg.
His left arm. Hey, wow. Let's hope he's not.
That is not what English needs to see. "15 rushes, 116 yards on the ground tonight for Takari Hobbs." They're now not holding his leg, so that's probably a good sign as far as that part of his body is concerned.
The way he gets slammed, I mean, it might be something in the rib area. Watch the end of this play. He's going to get, that's Roaches, right? Okay, yeah. Doing ran it down on his back. Oh, actually rolled over his leg.
Rolled over his ankle.
So
they are looking at his left leg.
He may have a leg issue going on. But he's had an amazing second half. And give him credit because a lot of times you'll see young players get so totally frustrated by being bottled up the entire first half like he was. But he stuck with it, broke a couple of plays. And it's almost like once he broke that first one for like 15 yards, then the entire team seemed to really pick up that running offense. They were blocking a little better. He was, jiggling around. And like I said, he likes to run with flair. It's good to see him walk off on his own, too. So right now, he's averaging like 8 yards per carry. Over 100 yards, and most of it in the second half. 2:24 to go. You got a 4th down, and let's call it 15.
If you're Coach Conway right now, I don't think you even try to throw the ball.
Oh, no.
I would think
not.
With the way that the ball's bouncing around for both teams, I don't think you even attempt to pass it.
Much too risky. Much too risky. And you don't need to, even though you may end up giving the ball back to West Roxbury, they're going to be deep in their own territory, and Stewart's out of the game.
You got 3 timeouts.
Their real
left for
game
West
breaker
Roxbury
is not available. No, it's really tough to see that because Stewart was so much fun to watch. He was just as exciting as Hobbs. But
you also
precautions have to be taken.
You have to. You have to. With all we know about concussions now, you have to. 4th and 15 now for English. They do try the pass over the middle. It falls incomplete.
Oh, look on. Yeah, they just weren't on the same page. I mean, he actually went to the middle while the pass flared out to the sideline. So West Roxbury, they'll have their chance to watch. It's a safe pass actually. There's nothing like deep, nothing in a crowd. So let's see if it's all about backup plan now for West Roxbury because clearly you come into the game expecting to use Stewart the entire 4 quarters. He's missed most of the second half. Now let's see what McBean has for weapons without Stewart.
On 1st down, again early movement. You just don't know who that's going to be on. Now we have flags coming from all over the place.
It's procedure against West Roxbury. That last flag that you saw, I'm just wondering if that was separate.
5 yards, let's go.
No, it's all the same thing. All the same thing. 5-yard penalty. Yes, he was seeing West Roxbury. So
illegal procedure, offense.
And, you know, it's one of those things where not only, you know, obviously everybody knows the Stewart's not in, but most importantly, the 11 guys out there know Stewart's not there. He's been there all season for them.
That's right.
You know, you talk about it all the time, high school players, certain guys on your team you look toward for a big play, for, you know, leadership, inspiration, whatever, and Stewart's just not, he's sitting on the bench, being forced to sit on the bench. Yeah.
1st and 15 now for the Raiders. 2:19 left to go here in the 4th quarter. McBean rolling to his right, escapes one tackler. McBean thrown to the sideline, ball falls incomplete. Luis Pena was the closest intended receiver.
McBean did a good job to prevent a huge sack. That would have been a big loss. That would have been more than 10 yards back. It's already 1st and 15. Now watch the pressure right there. Good job to get away from Olegun. And right here, just to throw it away. He was trying for the completion, but, you know, the fact that Pena did a good job trying to come back to his quarterback to help him out. But I tell you, that was a good play by McBean. Neither team has passed the ball well, other than that big 64-yard play. Other than that one, not much else. And now they got double receivers on both sides.
Raiders in the spread formation, just Presume in the backfield with McBean. 2nd and 15 now for West Roxbury. That one's going to be on English.
Yeah. That'll be a 2nd and 10 now. That'll help. Seems like McBean is mixing up this snap count now, which is really smart.
The offside defense.
McBean's only a sophomore. Wow. So this is now going to be 2nd and 10.
2nd down and 10 now for the West Roxbury Raiders.
His favorite guy is 80. Let's see if they can get it downfield to him.
More early movement. That is going to be on West Roxbury. And I think the snap count confused the Raiders that time.
But there's no excuse for your wide receivers to be leaving early. I mean, all they got to do is, even if they're not sure, they just got to look down the line of scrimmage because they're in the open field. So that coaches really hate that. Offensive coaches hate to see. I mean, it's bad enough when your linemen do it, but the wide receiver, there's never an excuse. If you're not sure, just look down the line of scrimmage. When the ball snaps, you go. Doesn't change your responsibility.
Yeah, you're not trying to fire out and get to the defensive lineman.
You're not making any contact.
The offensive linemen are.
Actually, they got English on that one. So that's going to help.
So that was offsides on English.
2nd down and 5. So English has given 10 yards of consecutive plays. See, they're so anxious. Mack, again, he's been guessing like this entire second half to Cadence. A couple of times he's gotten through and made good stops, but that time he just gave up 5 yards. I think English wants a timeout. Yeah, English coaches just want to calm the defense down because the worst thing that could happen right now is to have an English defender not fulfill his responsibility and give up a big play. And we know, we've already seen in the first half that Pena has big playability.
Pena's had a couple of touchdown receptions this year late in games as well. One against a 22-yarder against Tech Boston. And then last week against Charlestown, it was a fourth quarter touchdown that put them ahead for good. So he's had some late game heroics in the passing game. And if you're Boston English, I mean, I'm thinking bracket coverage, you have a corner and a safety over the top.
Oh, yeah, right. But again, you mentioned the spread formation for West Roxbury, which is something a little different from what they've been doing the whole game. They had 2 receivers on both sides, forcing English, obviously, to spread up the defensive backfield. It doesn't look like they're putting extra defensive backs in, but like you said, it's more like bracket coverage. You cover short, force everything to the side. Then we've seen Williams play that free safety type role. Now Williams, I don't even see him out there. I see Hobbs out there instead as a free safety.
Second and 5 now for the Westie Raiders. 2:10 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Westie down by 6. The handoff to Presume.
First down. Yeah,
Israel.
Yeah, close to the first down.
Makes his way up to the 31.
Yeah,
that's
it's
going to be real
short.
close.
Yeah, it's a little short. But this is the first order of business to get this first down. A little dangerous spin here, but he does have 2 hands on the ball.
Third and short now for Westie. The handoff to Presume. He gets the first down. And we get another flag on the play.
This is crazy.
These referees are going to have to ice their arms down.
I'm telling you, it's like, I mean, when you compare it to the first half, it's like night and day. English apparently is offside again.
7 face mask if he wants to know. 1-7. 1-7.
Keen Oligan.
You talk about a team. You talk about a team giving a defense giving the offense all the chances in the world. And mind you, the clock stopped because of the penalty. You got 1:42 remaining. Ball's now at midfield. Let's watch Presume. He has the football. Yep, there's the face mask right there.
That gives the Raiders the football at midfield now with 1:42 left to go in the fourth.
I think the only question is, can they get the ball to Pena downfield? That seems to be the only question for the rest of this game.
They fake the handoff now. It's McBean looking for Pena down the right sideline. It's almost intercepted by Takari Hobbs.
I tell you, give Pena credit. It was overthrown to him. That's the double coverage we talked about, but Pena made a defensive play to prevent interception. That McBean probably just ill-advised throw on this one. But watch Pena at the end of this play. He's the one that actually gets in there to prevent Hobbs from picking it off. Good defensive pressure from English on McBean by Brown. Well, it's definitely coming right down to the wire. I mean, 2nd and 10.
1:26 left to go. Still time.
Plenty of time.
West Roxbury with a couple of timeouts
left. You know, there'll be incomplete passes. The clock's going to stop virtually on every play.
Again, fake it to Presume. McBean dumps it down to Miranda, who
got out of bounds.
Is then forced out of bounds. So just a short gain there on 2nd down. Actually, no gain on 2nd down as they mark him down right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, you see, he didn't realize he was right at the sideline.
Must have stepped right out of bounds, right at the marker. So 3rd and 10 now for the Raiders.
And see, the advantage the English defensive line has, they're just disregarding the run totally. Going after McBean.
If you're the Raiders, do you try to run the ball, pick up 4
well,
or 5?
I think you might have done that on 2nd down, but 3rd down, you're down to your last 2 downs. See, you gotta get this first down.
We're gonna go to the air again. McBean's facing pressure. He throws it away, and that could be, and it is. That's intentional grounding by Lazarus McBean. He does not get it back to the line of scrimmage.
And there's no receiver in the area.
Despite being out of the pocket.
Problem with that is you lose yardage, you lost it down. Tough play for the sophomore quarterback. But again, you know, I go back
by
to
the quarterback. Here.
Why is
lots of down?
Protection so bad
It'll be
now? In the first half.
4th down.
His offense, the offensive line, you know, had control of the football game. I mean, it's obviously, you know, fatigue because a lot of teams play both ways, but still, you got to summon up some extra adrenaline and energy, whatever, because this play right here is the game. They didn't mark the penalty.
They didn't mark off any penalty yardage. But it will be 4th and 10 for the Raiders.
They better hurry up and snap it, or we'll call a timeout.
Coach Wright seems to just want to calm his players down, try to regroup here. We've mentioned.
I'm not sure why they didn't realize that. Yeah, there was no penalty marked up. Well, like you saying, Pat, yes.
Right. I mean, as we mentioned last week, and as it's been in the news over the past couple of weeks, West Roxbury most likely will be closing at the end of this school year. Not sure what's going to happen to a lot of the students and players at West Roxbury Academy and the Urban Science Academy over at the West Roxbury Education Complex. So this could be
it.
The last certainly playoff football game for West Roxbury. If they are unable to advance, they do have at least one more game later on this year. But certainly emotions running high for this West Roxbury program, and they do not want this to be their last game.
Good point. 104. Play of the game for West Roxbury. Still can't believe they forgot to mark the yardage off. But gives West Roxbury a makeable, well, more makeable 10 yards.
You got a bunch formation at the top of your screen with Roaches, Bertucci, and Carlo, and Luis Pena. And that's going to be another 5 yards that West will have to back
15.
up.
I'm just surprised they're not in the shotgun. Yeah, unless it's a trick play. I'm really surprised.
Yeah, illegal receiver on the offense. Still fourth down.
McBean as much of a look down feel as possible. He's pulling out without the ball. Still at 104, 4th and 15.
I'm sure Coach Wright's probably, and his coaching staff has said to this team as well, you don't have to get a touchdown here. You got to just get the first down.
First down, exactly.
So now they need to pick up at least 15 yards.
They didn't even hear that.
Right.
They didn't even hear it.
The adrenaline's pumping. You're in a playoff game. You're on the road. You're down by 6. 104 left, 4th and 15. West Roxbury's last chance on this play. McBean has some protection. Now rolling to his right. And it's caught, but well short of the first down. The ball is caught. I believe that's Roaches who was able to make the catch for West Roxbury.
West Roxbury has timeouts left. So this isn't over yet.
That's Luis Pena, rather.
West Roxbury has a chance. If they can defend and keep English from getting the first down, they'll have another opportunity.
Yeah, Westy with, I believe, they have 2 timeouts left. So they'll have to call them on 1st and 2nd down.
Well, the scoreboard's wrong. The scoreboard says 4. That must be wrong. They called at least. I know they called 1. They might have called 2. Yeah, they just called one here. I think they called one earlier, so they should have either
I
2
think
or
they
3
have
left.
2 left.
Yeah, okay, we'll see. They go back to losing Stewart. That's I mean, it was a really good competitive game. What are you doing?
And now the Raiders have to call a timeout. Coach Wright and his staff are saying, no one asked you to do that.
Why would we waste the timeout?
There must have been some confusion as far as the defensive front for West Roxbury.
Oh, definitely. I think they only have 10 guys out there. But in that situation,
normally that's the right play, but
oh well, they're out of timeouts now.
So that's it. Yeah. So West Roxbury now out of timeouts.
This is a done deal here.
So
as long as
English
doesn't fumble the ball.
Yeah, English just has to get victory formation now. Yeah. They're going to hand it off as it's Soto with the carry that time.
English is going to kneel down here and wrap this up. Injured West Roxbury player.
Roach just got undercut that time. I'm not sure if that's him. Down on the play, it is.
Yeah, it's him, yeah.
I want to see him get up. Carlos Roach is a very good football player for this Westy team.
There's going to be a 10-second runoff for the injury that stopped the clock. Wow, some game. I mean, you talk about tale of 2 halves. You know, there's no better example than this. West Roxbury, 14-0, and again, you know, repeating myself, but biggest sequence of the game, 1st and goal at the 6-yard line for West Roxbury.
They couldn't punch
and you made the point. If we go up 3, it's a whole different game.
Whole different ball of wax.
Yeah, but they had a couple of bad penalties. English made a couple of good defensive plays, so that their teams went into the halftime 14-0. In the 3rd quarter, everything turned around. English had all 20 of their points in the 3rd quarter. There's your victory formation, Pat. Finally. Wow.
So Boston English will down it here.
That'll do it.
And that should do it here at English High School. They might have to run one more.
They called it down at 30, so, well, we might have to just run one more just to be safe.
Even then, the English can just take a delay of game penalty right here if they need to. And that is going to do it. The English New Mission Eagles are advancing to the North Division 8 sectional finals. They take down West Roxbury 20-14 here at a wild and wet evening at English High School.
Well, as we expected, we knew there were 2 of the best teams in the city. So, one the North and one the South. So there was no question that we're looking forward to a really competitive game. That's exactly what we got, but in a strange way. Total control by West Roxbury in the first half. Unfortunately for them, they only got 14 points when they should have had more. Total control for English in the 3rd quarter. They got all 20 of their points and held on with defense and some good offensive clock killing to finish the game. So, well-deserved win. You know, I just really feel bad for West Roxbury losing their best player, Stewart.
It's a tough way to go out.
And yep, that's part of football. Really, it happens every game or every year anyway. So, West Roxbury, like you mentioned, they have one more game left at least. So they'll bounce back to the regular season to finish off this year. But 2014, hey, playoff game, good competition. Crazy with the rain off and on, so that obviously contributed to all the turnovers we had. But it was on both ends. I mean, both teams had a bunch of turnovers, so that the turnovers in the ends didn't really have much of an effect because it was sort of balanced out. A lot of penalties on both sides that really balanced second half, really balanced things out. So I think English moves on. They keep their undefeated record.
That's right.
And they move on to the Division 8 North sectional final. And they'll find out tomorrow who they're going to play.
Absolutely. You got to bet that some of these English players will be heading over to Everett
No
High School
doubt.
to watch
They'll
both John
have a bus.
tomorrow. Actually, Coach Conway will probably have a few of them in his car
I'm sure.
for tomorrow night's
Right.
game. But Boston English is advancing to the North Division 8 sectional finals. And, folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we will have our Game of the Week MVP and our final stats here from English High School right after these words. Don't go away.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do him like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys. Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again. But an awkward silence can be a great thing, like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Boston English High School in Jamaica Plain. At the conclusion of Game of the Week, the Boston English New Mission Blue Eagles take down the West Roxbury Raiders 20-14 here in the North Division 8 sectional semifinals. And, there's a lot of guys that had. I know. Thanks a lot, MIAA, for making this complicated.
Hey,
for the most part.
You get it all right.
Yeah. I hope I get a candy bar at the end of this. Certainly a lot of guys made a lot of contributions tonight for Boston English in a lot of different ways. But Ramonte Williams, a senior, a captain, a guy that Coach Conway always talks about as a guy who's a big contributor to this team. He's our MVP tonight. He had a great game here.
And you said it. He did a lot of everything on both sides of the football. Scored a touchdown, made a number of tackles, was around the ball as much as anybody else, so well-deserved.
No question. Ramonte Williams, he is our MVP tonight, and he is down on the field with his head coach Ryan Conway and our sideline reporter Noah Riley. Noah, take it away.
Thanks, guys. We're down on the field with game MVP Ramonte Williams. Ramonte, you had 7 tackles today, an interception, a running touchdown, and 2 more receptions. What did you do to prepare for today's game?
I went hard in practice. I knew we had a big game coming up,
We never been past, well, for me personally, I never been past the second round. I knew we had it in us to fight, so I knew I had to work hard in practice so I perform good in the game.
And I saw you come out multiple times with different injuries. You always came back in, always fought through it. How important was this for you to win this game?
This game was very, very important. I know I had my team on my shoulders. They needed me, so every time I got injured, I know it was a chance for me to get back up and keep fighting. It was never over.
Thanks, Ramonte. Heck of a job today.
Thank you.
Coach, you guys fought through so much adversity, down 14-0 at half, fought through a few different fumbles, multiple flags, some execution stuff. You guys managed to pull this game out. Tell me about this, how proud you are of your team.
I can't say enough about how proud I am of these guys. I mean, they've been working hard all week in practice. You know, I've been telling them all year it's the little things to get us forward and to take care of those little things and to just stay in the fight and not quit. We've been in a situation where we've been down before. I'm so proud of the way that they respond to adversity, and you know that's something that's going to help them moving forward in life. We've been down before, and they don't. There's no quitting these kids. They just keep fighting. They just keep fighting, and they stay together. So I'm so happy and so proud of them.
Yeah, definitely. And one player I wanted to highlight quickly was Tristan Champagne. I saw you put him in middle linebacker, and he seemed to really be like a vocal leader for your players. So what is that like to have, you know, this trust in your players and get them to get their teammates going?
Tristan was our starting quarterback at the beginning of the season. He was one of our leaders, and then Mike ended up beating him out. And to be honest, we've been moving Tristan from spot to spot, trying to find a good spot for him. We know that he's an athlete. You know, he's a ball hawk. We know that we can put Tristan anywhere on the field and he'll perform. So tonight it was we needed him at middle linebacker. We saw some things up top. They identified some things up top that Tristan could take. We felt Tristan could take advantage of, and he did, and he executed well. It was awesome. He did exactly what we wanted him to do. He performed exactly how we wanted him to perform. He's a hard-working kid. He's a smart football kid. He's an excellent student. I mean, Ramonte's an excellent student, and they're just good kids. They're just good kids. I'm so proud of them.
And last but not least, obviously a huge win. You guys are moving on. How do you prep in this next week?
Well, I don't know. I don't know who we're gonna get. You know, both teams are tough. Both teams are coached well. Lynn Tech, you know, they're a good team. They're really, really good. They beat New Mission last year in the I believe it was the second round. And Cathedral John, they're pretty good too.
Great, thanks so much, Coach. Again, congrats on a huge win. Good luck next week. Hopefully you guys make it all the way to Super Bowl. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Me too. Thank you.
Thanks. And so, obviously, the New Mission English team, they were able to come out on top today. It's their first year together as a co-op program. They have a lot of tough kids, overcame a lot of adversity, able to pull it out and represent the Boston City League forward in the playoffs. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Noah, and certainly a very happy Coach Conway there at the end of this one. And, you know, you
Thanks,
look at...
Coach, for explaining. I was trying to figure out what the adjustment was at the whole half. And
that's right.
Thank you, Coach, because you found it was Champagne.
That's right.
I had mentioned that the change defensively up front, they brought those linebackers up to the line of scrimmage. Champagne was right in the middle, taking away those cutting lanes that in the first half, West Roxbury was really just grinding against English. They were getting 6-7 yards each carry and
doing what they do.
That changed in the third quarter, made all the difference in the world. And also, let's not forget Williams. Give him credit for getting bulldozed on that play by
That's right.
and came back. You know, I think you were right. He just had the wind knocked out of him, but bounced, got up, sat for a couple of plays, but came back, finished the game. Huge game for him, and it's good that we're awarding the MVP to a guy who just did so many things on both sides of the football.
No question, had a huge impact on this game. A senior, he knew he wasn't going out like this, especially at home here at English High. Let's take a look at the final stats here from English High School before we sign off. And first up, it's going to be the West Roxbury Raiders.
Those are the Raiders. Most of this was in the first half because I presume he ended up with 70 yards, actually, because he took most of the running plays in the second half once Stewart was out. Stewart had 69 yards, all that in the first half. Receiving, Pena had that 164-yard bomb. Then he had another play for 10 yards for 74, 2 catches. Bertucci had the 1 catch for 5 yards. Tough game throwing for McBean. He had a lot of pressure on him. Only 4 for 9 for 80 yards and had that 1 interception.
Let's take a look at the English final stats.
Well, Hobbs finally got it going. Like you were saying, Paz, just a matter of time. And he had over 90 yards in the second half. Most of it in the third quarter. Ended up with 116 with 15 carries, Williams, our outstanding player, had that 38-yard touchdown run. On that, the only actual carry that he had. He also had a couple of catches for 13 yards. Brown caught one for 12. Castro didn't have to throw a whole lot. Only 4 for 9, 24 yards. Did have the touchdown, and of course had an interception later on. But overall, I think English, that third quarter, the coaches are all talking about you got to play, all 4 quarters. Wasn't the case today. I mean, West Roxbury played exactly. West Roxbury played 2 good quarters in the first half. Appeared to have control 14-0 at halftime, but the fact that it was only 14 allowed English to get 20 straight points in the third quarter alone to get this win and move on to the playoffs.
Heck of a game here at Boston English. Wild game here at English High. Folks, if you want to watch this game again, you can certainly go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game of the week. All the games from this season are up on that site. You can also go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/game of the week Boston. All the games, links to those games are up on our site, link to YouTube. You can also check out some pictures, a lot of different stuff we have there. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. The English Eagles are moving on to the sectional finals. Right? We're hoping we can cover that game, so make sure you check out those social media sites and see what we got planned for next week. But for right now, we're going to say so long from English High and Jamaica Plain. We'll see you next time here on Game of the Week. Take care, everybody.